What's going on YouTube? Cardano is falling, Bitcoin is falling, crypto is falling. Here we can see Cardano back at 93 cents. What in the world is going on, and how am I staying bullish in 2025 when we're watching price action like this? Because after this video, I want you to feel the bullishness in the air, and I want to show you all the things I'm watching and how this cycle is not over. First, we're going to look at Bitcoin and how it's not topped, it's not even close. And if it has topped by this point, if Bitcoin, if Cardano, if all of that just fell downwards and broke all of these trends we've been watching, that would be an anomaly. That would be a very standout thing, and nobody who's actively in crypto and has been in crypto would be expecting that. It would be a total change of the course of history. So I'm not expecting those things to happen. Then we're going to look at Cardano and what's going on its chart, and then we're going to compare Cardano to Ethereum, to Bitcoin, and to ADA dominance, just to round out this video, hit you with all the bullish indicators. And we're going to start right here. First off, things you need to know: Cardano is doing a little accumulation, sitting at 93 cents today. But we're going to come back to this ADA USD chart. First, I want to show you the Bitcoin chart just to give you a little bit of context before we jump into Cardano. Today, Bitcoin is $94,000 as of recording this video, but we still have a lot of good things. And if you watch other people besides me, like Benjamin Cowan, you know some of those good things that are happening. So if we look at a weekly chart here, you can see this is really our bull market from 2022 to 2025 where we are today. And you can see how many times Bitcoin has retraced to this bull market support band and kept on going, and how this time is no different. Bitcoin is simply just retracing to its bull market support band, having a little bit of accumulation, because this was a big move. This move from 60,000 to 105,000, it's almost a double, right? Almost a double. But this is a huge move, and it got a lot of people interested. And now those people during this accumulation phase are having to decide if they're still in a good asset, or if they are too scared to weather a storm like this, a storm like this, a storm like this. All of these 20, 30, 40% moves that we had this cycle. Okay. But this cycle is not an anomaly. When we go back to the 2021 and 2020 cycles, look at this. Big move, big move, big move, big move, all back to the bull market support band. And then even a lot of people consider this this kind of May 2021 move to be another big retracement move, because we did go back and set a new higher high. So we have that in that cycle as well. We also have it in our 2017 cycle. Big move, big move, big move, big move, consistently back to the bull market support band. So we are kind of repeating the history here and doing the same thing that Bitcoin has always done. The last thing, furthermore, on this chart is I want to show you two more things on Bitcoin. The first thing is this BTI Bitcoin indicator. I recommend you get this on your trading view if you don't have it, but you can see every time we come into a cycle top, it flashes red, or like a mid-cycle top, it flashes red, and all of these indicators go off. And the chart, if you zoom in here, goes pink and red and yellow. Okay, pink and red and yellow are the get ready to sell your bag colors. Okay, and so you can see this here in 2014. You can see it here in 2017. You can see it here in 2021. It flashed the first top, and not a little bit on the second top, but it did flash big on the first top. So you would have sold at a great price. And look at where we are today. We have not flashed at all, no flashes whatsoever on this indicator. And we are at a risk level of about a 6. If I remember right, these risk levels start to go off when we get to around a 9, a 10, and an 11. And so we are sitting here today at a 6. And so if we look just simply at the data cycle over cycle, we are nowhere near a cycle top, or like an emotional top or an indicator top, saying that these are the times we should get ready to sell. Okay. Last thing I want to look at on the Bitcoin chart before we move into Cardano is how long these cycles have taken from the bottom of the bear market to the top of the bull market. Okay. Let's go through the 2015 to 2017 cycle. About 154 weeks. Okay. Maybe I have this off by 1 week, maybe like 152 weeks. Right here. I'm not super zoomed in. 152 weeks maybe. Okay, now let's take our current or the 2021 cycle. 152 weeks. Now let's look at where we are today. Take the bottom. Today we are at 114 weeks. And so if we move this out to 152 weeks, which would put us on average about how long this bull market is going to last for Bitcoin, that would put us around October of 2025. So if you're watching this, maybe you're in the market, a little bit nervous, a little bit not understanding what the market's doing, kind of in this hesitation. You thought January is going to be a great pump month. It still can be a great pump month, and I expect it to be a good pump month or a good preceding month to the February pump month. But this Bitcoin data is showing us the cycle is not over. It's probably like halfway over, and we still have a very long way for Bitcoin to go. You still got 40 weeks or 30 weeks, something like that, and quite a bit of ways before these indicators start to flash. Okay, so that's Bitcoin, and the message there is that this cycle is not over, and you still have a lot of time in this cycle, so no need to worry, no need to be panicked out. The second thing we want to look at here is Cardano, and what we want to look at on Cardano is a couple things. First off, ADA is doing well on its trend upwards. It is doing well against the bull market support band. It is holding above it, and it could even come all the way down here to around the 70, 80 cent level before I would even start to get worried, okay? So having a 93 cent ADA is not a huge deal, all right? And I want to show you why 70 to 80 cents is still an okay level for Cardano, especially after this massive move. This massive move in 1 month goes from 30 cents to $1. That is a huge move that the market has to digest. And right now it looks like it's just digesting it a little as Bitcoin is being digested on its chart. We can see that this range here for the bull market support bands between 73 to 65. So that's a healthy area for Cardano to retrace to. But also another healthy area is right in here in this top. This low, new higher high that we had before the current one that we set. This is a great spot for Cardano to come back to around this 80 cent level. Furthermore, if we there's two Fibonacci's we can look at. You take this one and you go just from this current move, this lowest low Cardano made to the new high that we're at, and a typical retrace around the 618 would put us simply right back here at where our bull market support band is. Maybe it doesn't even get this low. Maybe it simply runs into this level of resistance right here because we have a ton of support that is coming in here and forming this massive level of support that Cardano is fighting or is holding against, right? Now, if we take the lowest low that Cardano has ever made to the highest high Cardano has ever made, you can see how this Fibonacci, this 786, rolls right in here. I know this is a little confusing. I'll clean it up in a second. But this 786 from our massive Fibonacci is rolling right in here around the 70 cent level. And we have just another piece of very big support that Cardano is going to have a very hard time to break below. So in my opinion, at this point in the market cycle, it's almost impossible, not impossible, nothing's ever impossible, but it would be highly unlikely for Cardano to break below all of these layers of support and make it back down into this area where it has no level of support and would be in free fall mode. In my opinion, Cardano's going to chill here around this 80 cent level at the lowest, right? We saw it hit this low, this 80 cent low. Maybe it comes down here and kisses the bull market support band around 70 cents. But this amount of support is propping Cardano up, and it would be very hard for it to break below all of that. Now, let me clean this up just 1 second, and we move this Fibonacci. Now we're only left with the massive Fibonacci, and you can simply see here how ADA is bouncing off that 618, getting a little bit of a retrace off of it, maybe coming down to the bull market support band before heading back upwards again, in my opinion, right? It's not uncommon to, when you run into these next layers of support, to have to take a second and hesitate, take a second and cool down. You can see that last cycle, the first time Cardano got up here to this 618 after this massive move, it did hesitate a little. Then it got to the 0.5 and it hesitated a little. Then it got up here to the 0.2 and it hesitated a little. So we have these bands. Even on the way down, Cardano hesitates in this band, and so they like to bounce around the Fibonacci bands. A lot of people use those as indicators, so it's great targets for people to buy, great targets for people to sell. But in my opinion, Cardano is doing just more of the same, and it's not flashing any major indicators, okay? Let me show you one of the indicators as well, and then we'll move on to the ADA Bitcoin chart. But you can see our BTI, we can just use the BTI one again. What happens cycle over cycle? In 2017, it flashed pink and red. In early 2021, it flashed pink and red and yellow. Today, we're not flashing any colors, any signals. No need to worry, in my opinion. And Cardano has limited downside. That's what I love about this asset. It was undervalued for a long time. It's coming up. It has limited downside because it wasn't really pumped up a lot in 2024, and we are just now getting into those phases. So in my opinion, Cardano is in a good spot to kind of rest as Bitcoin rests. And then when Bitcoin picks back up again, we can expect Cardano to get back up again and the rest of the crypto market to get back up again and move to those higher levels. Now, to wrap this video up, let's go check out some other things, some ADA Bitcoin, some ADA dominance, and some ADA Ethereum. Let's get our bull market support band back because that's always a good thing to look at. But with the ADA Bitcoin, there's kind of two scenarios being played out here. First scenario is I think that the bottom is definitely in. Right. So at any point in time, it's a good time. ADA is a better asset than Bitcoin from this time going forward for potential returns. Now, there is one thing that we might have to watch out for, and that is this dip right here. You can see that Cardano is currently making the same move here that it did in the early phases of last cycle, where ADA starts to go faster than Bitcoin, right? We're expecting Cardano to get back up here to the 5,000 Satoshi range, this band that it has the past two cycles. And so the big question is, does Cardano come in here and chop between these two levels and then continue higher because we had a longer bear market? Or does it come up as it has, retrace back to this support area before heading further? I'm kind of in the camp, and I would like to see Cardano just chill in this area without breaking this support, without breaking the bull market support band, because of how long our bear market was, because of kind of how drawn out this cycle was, right? And I would like to see it just kind of chill here before moving up further. We also expect, because of the timing of the market, in my opinion, what I kind of expect, I expect Bitcoin to start going up in a couple weeks here, late January, early February. But I also kind of expect Cardano to go up in January, February, because that's what it did last cycle. And it would put in a significant move above Bitcoin's move. So I would expect this ADA Bitcoin chart to either hold steady or continue to rise further. The move that I'm referring to on the ADA USD chart is this one right here. So in January and December, this was January of 2021 right here, and then this was February of 2021. So we have this move in February and this move in January, but basically very early in the post-halving year. So in 2021 and now in 2025, we are seeing Cardano make these moves to get it back to its previous all-time high. And so in November of 2020, we had this move right here to kind of kick that thing off. We had the same thing in 2024. We had November kind of kick it off. Now we're accumulating a little. And so the big question is, does January continue before accumulating and then February continuing? And in my opinion, I would like to see that happen, right? We would like to see January continue and February continue in order to take out this previous cycle all-time high of $3. So if that were to happen, you would expect ADA Bitcoin to kind of hold steady or continue to go up, because Cardano would be putting in a much larger percentage-based move than something like Bitcoin. Okay, those are the two things I'm watching though. But in my opinion, the ADA Bitcoin chart is in a good spot. It's still kind of at its lower ranges, but I think this is the bottom, and I would not expect it to put in another bottom. So we're all good there. ADA dominance is another good one to look at. It shows the percentage Cardano owns of the total crypto market cap. And I definitely think the bottom for that is in as well. Cardano's moving back up here, getting above the bull market support band. Last cycle, it came down and chopped a little bit, but never set a new low. And I think the same thing's happening here. I think it's coming up, holding, chopping, accumulating. I would like to see it stay above the bull market support band. I'd like to see it stay above this yellow support line. And I would like to see it go higher as ADA Bitcoin goes higher, as the ADA price goes higher in January and in February. So not a whole lot of concern here, not really a whole lot to look at. It's just continuing to go up, and we want to see it get back up here to 4%, 3.5%, 4%, 4.5% if you want to see something like, a $7 or an $8 or a $9 ADA potentially. Finally, the last chart I want to look at, and this is an interesting chart that I don't think a lot of people look at, ADA ETH. And I think this one's interesting because we can kind of see like what's been happening. So this is the total chart of ADA versus Ethereum. And you can see this was 2017, 2018, where ADA kind of went up a lot. This was 2021 where ADA kind of went up a lot, right? And now in this bear market, Cardano has fallen significantly over 2022, 2023, and now in 2024. And now late 2024, it's starting to make its rise again. And what's important is I think that the trend has shifted here. So this was our bear market. And now this is Cardano coming and breaking into a new higher high. So I think this trend is being reset. And from here on out, we will see Cardano make higher and faster moves than Ethereum on a percentage based level of how much their asset's going to return. So I think that this was the low on ADA Ethereum. It's the lowest it's ever been. And I think now we can expect Cardano to come back up here into around this 5,000 to 8,000 range up in here against Ethereum. So this is another great chart. I think Cardano put in a low in July 2024 and has made a new higher high, signifying a trend reversal. And that now we will expect Cardano to go up faster than Ethereum from this part forward in this cycle. I want to take some time and in future videos and look at this chart again, because I think it can provide a lot more data. But from this video, those are kind of the things that I'm looking at. And I really want you to understand that the cycle doesn't seem to be over, right? The Bitcoin chart, the indicators, the distance of the traditional cycle that we run into 2017, 2021, and even today, none of those things are flashing like this cycle is over or this time is different, right? And if the cycle were to have ended at around $110,000 Bitcoin, or if the cycle were to end just right here and we would go into a new bear market from this part forward, it would be a totally different thing than we've ever seen before. And I think it would go counter to a lot of the things people are expecting with ETFs and regulation and strategic reserve and stuff like that. Second, Cardano is doing the same thing it's always been doing. It's holding a lot of indicators and rising against Bitcoin, rising against total dominance, rising against Ethereum, rising against USD. And so I think Cardano is in a very good position to have a very good 2025, even though right now, nobody wants to see a 90-cent ADA. Nobody wants to see a $93,000 Bitcoin, but it's part of the course. And I think late January or early February, kind of in this Q1 area, we are going to start to see things pick up again. So that's what I'm watching on the Cardano charts. And that is the bullish stuff that I have for Cardano right now in 2025. And I think that really sums up 2025. Sometime in 2025, we're going to have a top, right? We're going to have a cycle top, and it's going to be a perfect time to sell ADA or sell Bitcoin or move back into Bitcoin or move back into dollars. And we can talk about that then, but this is kind of my roadmap for 2025. And those are the things I will be watching. If you haven't gotten a Crypto 100X blueprint, it's in the description of this video, my 7 steps to 100X my portfolio in 2025. And, this is what I got going on with ADA and the bullish things I'm watching on it. Let me know in the comments if you agree, if you are bullish on Cardano. And if you are bullish on Cardano, are you also bullish on Cardano native tokens? Okay, because that's an even further thing, to where if you think ADA is going to go from $1 to $10, those Cardano native tokens are going to go even higher than that. So that's where some even more money can be made. Let me know in the comments. I greatly appreciate you watching this video. If you haven't, please like, subscribe, join the community, join the family here on this channel, and we'll definitely see you in the next one.